cross product with V vector, that is it 500 J dash cap. Okay, that is the actual product here. Yes, this is within the frame. Okay, that is the FC here. And if we are going to solve all these things, what we will end up with? We will end up having a result that is equals to I dash cap 3.645. This will be equals to I dash cap 3.645 into 10 to the power minus 2 meters per second square. That should be the value here. This is the I dash cap, that is equals to this value. Okay. Also we are subjected to determine the time taken by the bullet. What should be the time taken by the bullet to reach at the target? You know that the target is equals to at a distance of 250 meters. So let's find out what should be the value here for the time taken by the bullet to reach the target. Time taken by the bullet to reach the target, that is been set that small t, and this is equals to what will be the value here, that is equals to the target and the distance of target, that is equals to 250 meters, and the velocity that has been said about the 500 meters per second. So what should be the value here? The value here by now is 0.5 seconds or a half second. Okay, 0.5 seconds means a half second. Okay, so now what would be the displacement due to the Coriolis acceleration? So we go one thing here, this is the Coriolis acceleration, this is the time taken, and one more thing is to calculate, that is displacement due to Coriolis acceleration. So what should be the displacement here? You remember that the bullet is going towards the northward direction, so we can say that there must be a displacement inside the eastern direction. So that's why we use the axis, that is x dash here. So we will talk about only the x dash axis. We just wish to go towards the eastward direction. So what should be the value of x dash by now? That is equals to half fc t square. This will be equals to half fc t square. We got all these formulas been solved for the previous lecture, saying either for the lecture 5th and not for the lecture 6th, but for the lecture 5th and 4th there. So we got all these results there. This is 1 by 2. What is the value of fc here? We just check here only the magnitude value. We do not going through the directional values here. If we wish to go through the directional value, that will be the vector quantity. We are not going to deal with, because x dash itself gives you a direction that is associated with the eastward direction. Okay, so we do not need to mention the I cap or the j cap here any longer. 3.645 into 10 to the power minus 2 into 0.5 square, that is equals to 0.25, but let's say this is equals to this. And so what would be the actual value of x dash? So the actual value of x dash will be equals to 4.55 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter. Into 10 to the power minus 3 meters, or you can say that x dash will be equals to 4.55 millimeters. So these are the values which we are subjected to come up with, and I hope that you can calculate them yourself. And I can say that this particular value, this expression may lead you some complication, but the above two explanation, the above two expression are not new for you. And if you wish to know that how this formula came here, how you can say that that is equals to the half FCT square, I would like to suggest you that please go and check out the lecture 5th, in which we have discussed the lecture 4th or the lecture 5th, in which we have discussed these things briefly in details. These are the lectures about 50 minutes or 1 hour. In those lectures these things are discussed in details. Okay, so these are in sense so that you will do not go through some complications or doubts, for the minimal doubts. So now what would be the value of Coriolis force here? We got the value of Coriolis acceleration, and now we are subjected to come up with the value of Coriolis force. This is the Coriolis acceleration. What we are subjected to do? We just going to multiply it by m, and when multiplying with m, what it will be the value of m here? M is equals to 100 gram. This is 100 gram. So when we are going to multiply it, what we will have? Let's find out. First you take a screenshot, then I am going to clear this side off, because I don't think so that we need it any longer. So now the Coriolis force So what should be the value of Coriolis force by now? That will be equals to, okay, this is the value of Fc here, this is the value of m here. So by using all these values, I am just going to write only the actual numeral value. We do not going to write how does things comes to be. That is equals to 3.645, there is no change, into, what is the value here? 0.1 kg, that means that 10 to the power minus 1, and that is 10 to the power minus 2. So you can say that this will be equals to 10 to the power minus 3 newtons, 10 to the power minus 3 newtons here. Okay, so this is the value of Coriolis force, that is the Fc here. Yes, this is the Coriolis force. Okay, now let's find out, this is the Coriolis force, that is Fc, and also let's talk about the vertical displacement due to gravity. Also the vertical displacement you know that the horizontal displacement towards the x-dash axis, and let's say the vertical displacement and towards the z-dash axis, and that is equals to the half gt square, because there is the acceleration due to gravity. In case of vertical acceleration, the acceleration is due to gravity there. Okay, for everything that has been tossed up or that is has a height with a potential energy, the thing is been subjected to deal with the gravity here when the bullet is been fired to this particular direction. So after certain time, and within the time of acceleration, when the acceleration is much higher, that the effect of gravity is negligible. So when it is going for a distance far and far, what happens actually? What will going to happen? This will going to fall and fall and fall and fall. So at last, this will lead to the ground. Okay, so that's all happens here. This is the value of z dash. So what should be the value of z dash by now? This is 1 by 2, and the value of g is 9.8 into 10 to the power. This is the 9.8 into 0.5 square. So the value will be equals to, this is the z dash, and that is equals to 1.225 meters. Okay, so this will be the vertical displacement. So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 things which are subjected to calculate. I hope that you can get this answer in the same way that we have get it here. These are not so difficult for you, but these are the types of numerals which are extremely important according to your exam point of view. This kind of question can be asked with a bundle of this whole question, or this may be asked in a sense saying that for the smallest portion in the smallest portions, like that the portion for the Coriolis acceleration only, or it may ask the time taken only, or the horizontal displacement or the vertical displacement, or in some sense the Coriolis force. Okay, so these are the things that have been asked, or the things can be asked in a sense of bundles that are among you. So I hope that you got the concept here. You can take a screenshot first and then we will proceed with a new example here. Okay, so I think this is enough time for the screenshot. So let's clear this off and proceed for a new example or for a new numeral here. Although all the numericals that have been asked into your textbook or that have been discussed into your textbook, all of them are important and all of them are extremely important, but we will talk about only the numerals that are important according to your exam point of view. And for them, let's begin with a new example here in that series. That has been said that a body of mass m experiences zero acceleration due to gravity, and due to rotation of a certain planet about its equator, whose mass and radius are same as that of Earth. Find length of the day of that planet in hours. Give radius of Earth is 6,400 kilometers, and acceleration due to gravity of Earth is 9.8 meters per second. Okay, so let's find out here. First of all, it has been said that a body of mass m experiences zero acceleration due to gravity on rotation of a certain planet. Let's say there is another planet here. For another planet, we have assumed a planet there in somewhere, and at that planet a body of mass m experiences zero acceleration due to gravity. Okay, there is a body of mass m that experiences zero acceleration due to gravity, and for that body this planet has the radius as same of Earth, because the body which is here, the body is moving on its equator, and that's why it is feeling the zero acceleration due to gravity. And this planet here, this planet has the radius of the planet is equal to the radius of Earth. And we are subjected to find out that what should be the day length there, how much times that day will be. You know that on Earth a complete day is about 24 hours. Yes, we got a day value of 24 hours, but let's find out for this planet here. Let's find out what will be the day value for this planet here. Okay, so starting with so let's start this answers, start the solution with taking into consideration about the concept of centripetal force. What should be the centripetal force? Centripetal force acting on the body due to rotation of the planet. So what should be the value of acceleration? What should be the value of centripetal force? Okay. The body is somewhere in the space and the planet is rotating on its axis, and due to the rotation of the planet, what should be the value of centripetal force on this particular body that has been revolving around the planet? And it has been said that this planet has a radius that is equals to the radius of Earth, but this body here doesn't experience any gravitational acceleration due to this planet here. So we just wish to find out that what should be the length of the day. Okay. So let's begin with the example here. Let's find out the centripetal force acting on the body due to the rotation of the planet. That has been said that Fc here, this is the centripetal force. So let's say this is F dash, because Fc represents something that is the Coriolis force. We just talking about only the F dash. That will be equals to m omega square Rp. Rp has been said for the radius of the planet, and it has been also said that the value of omega here, okay, about the equator whose radius are same as the radius of Earth. Okay, that has been said there. And you remember the radius of Earth is equals to 6,400. Let's say this is the Re, the radius of Earth. Keep it in mind. This is the radius of Earth, 6,400 kilometers. Okay. And acceleration is 9.8 meters per second square on Earth only. The gravitational acceleration on Earth. Okay. So let's begin with the example here. This is the value that has been said that. Also the gravitational force of the planet. Also the gravitational force of the planet. So if you remember something that has been said that what should be the value of gravitational force by now? The concept of gravitational force that leads to us is something that is for the gravitational force. It has been discussed in the 11th class chapter, in which we talked about the motion due to gravity. Okay, the gravitational motion concept, in which we find out what should be the value of a gravitational constant on Earth. So that has been said that what will be the value of gravitational force. Let's say this is the F is here, and F will be equals to by now G is the gravitational constant, and small m is the mass of the body that has been attracted, and mp is the mass of the planet divided by rp square. Okay. Also it has been said that there is no gravitational acceleration is felt, so that means that the centripetal force is equals to the gravitational force. If you remember something, that when you hanged something like as a stone with a wire, okay, and you are rotating that above your head, so what actually happens? Is the stone attracted towards you? When the stone will attract it towards you? The stone will attract it towards you when your gravitational pull, when the gravitational pull is higher than the centripetal force, and when the centripetal force is equals to the gravitational force, so what will happen exactly? The thing happens is the stone will get a fixed position and will revolve around here. Okay. So when there is no gravitational acceleration is felt by the body there, it has been said that where the body of mass m experiences zero acceleration due to gravity. So that means that the gravitational acceleration, the gravitational force is equals to the centripetal force, because the body is revolving around the planet. Okay, let's say this is the planet and this body is revolving around the planet. So when the centripetal force that has been attracted towards the center is equals to the gravitational force, so what happens? The body will keeps on rotating and will never fall on the planet. Okay, so that is it been said there. So but this f dash is equals to this f. Okay, You know that why? Because the centripetal force is equal to the gravitational force. That's why the body isn't feeling any kind of gravitational acceleration towards the planet. Okay. So let's write all the values here. M omega square rp and F is equals to gm mp over rp square. So solving all these things, what we end up with? We end up with saying that this omega square is equals to g mp over rp cube. Okay, this will be equals to this is the omega square, that is equals to g mp over rp cube here, and that is equals to g mp remains the same, and rp can be said that this is the re square, because it has been said that the radius of planet is equals to the radius of earth. So now the value of omega square, so this can be also said that, and it is also been given that, sorry, it has also been given that this mp will again equals to the me there. Okay, this has been also given. The mass of the planet is equals to the mass of the earth, and the radius of the planet is equal to the radius of the earth, because given that mp is equals to me and rp is equals to re. These are the things that have been given there. Okay, so these are the things. But the acceleration due to gravity at the planet, that is said to be is equals to gp, that is equals to this value, and the acceleration will be again equals to the acceleration of earth here. Okay, now acceleration due to gravity of the planet, that has been said gp, and this is equals to gmp over rp square. rp square is equals to gme over re square, and that will be equals to the ge. Okay, so the gravitational acceleration will be the same for both the planet or the earth, because the planet will again have the gravitational acceleration that is equals to the gravitational acceleration of earth there. So now the value of omega square will be, now this omega square gp over rp, or you can say that ge over re. So this will be the values here by now. So now the day there, what will be the value of the day, or the time that has been spent to revolve? The day is been said that when earth completes its total when earth completes its full rotation on its own axis, that has been said a day. Okay, so the same thing that has been said for the planet, when the planet will complete a rotation on its own axis, so that term will be said to be a complete day. Okay, that term will be said to be a complete day there. Okay, so let's find out the time t here. I think the statement is no longer needed here. We do not need the statement again and again. We just need the results what we are subjected to come up with. Okay, so the time t will be equals to 2 pi under the root rp over gp. Well, if you are thinking that from where does these formulas came out from, then I would like to recommend you, then please go and check out the concept of planetary motion that has been discussed for the 11th class, in which you studied the Kepler's law of motion and all those things. In the same chapter you will find out these formulas also, under the root RE over GE. You know the value of 2 pi, it has been said that is equals to the 2 pi, remains the 2 pi here, or this is 2 pi (6400 into 1000) because it is in kilometers and we need the distance into the meters, and because we will going to end up with the time into the seconds only. Okay, and the gravitational acceleration is equals to 9.8, and this will be equals to into seconds, and solving this, on solving we will have the value of time t is equals to 5075 seconds. And within these seconds, you know that the 3600 seconds will be equals to an hour. So this value will be equals to, so now you can say that the time will be equals to 1.41 hours. And the term 1.41 hour means that it is about 1 hour and 22 minutes, and saying that an hour and 23 or 22 minutes. Okay, so this is it, what we are subjected to calculate here. I know that this calculation is somewhat difficult for you because this calculation gets some complications, because we have used some new formulas here. We introduced the old formula, but all the formulas are not so new, but you have studied those formulas, and somewhat in some cases I hope that you missed those formulas too. You may have the formula that has been said that this formula is for this force and this force. Well, this is not so new here, but this formula is somewhat new here, because this is the formula that has been used to find out the gravitational acceleration of Earth in the 11th class for the chapter of planetary motion, or the Kepler's laws, in which this formula has been taken into consideration. These formulas are not so new, because these formulas has been considered for the previous examples. Okay, and these are the things that are being given to us. And what is the new thing here? Nothing is new here. We just used to, when you get to know these two formulas here, you can compare them each, and by comparing them you will just have to solve out for the angular velocity, and solving for the angular velocity we will end up having the gravitational acceleration of the planet, that is equals to the gravitational acceleration of Earth. And radius have been said to be equal earlier, pretty much earlier. It has been said that the radius of planet will be equals to the radius of Earth. Okay, came here, we are subjected to find out the time here. Solving for the time, that is equals to 2 pi into this particular value. So why does we said that 2 pi is equals to this? This is the acceleration here. So what does the 2 pi means? 2 pi means rotating on its own axis, saying that about the 360-degree rotation is been said there. The distance is equals to 2 pi. You remember that velocity is equals to speed is equals to distance upon time. So time will be equals to distance upon speed. Okay, so the speed is been set there for the Gp over Rp. Okay, and this is the 2 pi here. And solving these values, what we end up with, we will end up with the concept of saying that 5075 seconds, or getting into the hours, dividing by 60, will have a value of t is equals to 1.41 hours. Or in other sense, you can say that this value might be equals to 1 hour 22 minutes or about 1 hour 20 minutes. Okay, so this is the actual value here. I hope that you got all the concepts here. These concepts are not so much new for you, but few concepts are in there that have been said to be for the taken from the old school calculus. Okay, so this is it here. We will continue our lecture with the new examples. Don't go anywhere. And if you are a new student here, I would like to urge you that if you hadn't subscribed to the channel, then please go and subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon, so that you will never miss another update from us. And this is all for today, and we will continue our lecture 7th series, because this is a long lecture here. We have more examples to discuss here. if you are a student who get a good numerical approach, and so these lectures will be beneficial for you, and if you wish to get only the passing marks, then these lectures has no meaning for you. You can skip them yourself. This is up to you. So thank you very much for watching the video. Have a great day. Thank you very much for watching the video. Have a great day and happy learning. This is the Mehta PG College Online Study Portal, signing off.